Did you stay up to watch the Ravens lose? Did you do that? Because if so, I admire that. I really do. You have to have a special level of AFC North vindictiveness to want to watch the whole thing and know you got to get up the next day for work. Good morning to you. Good Tuesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Steelers presented by FanDuel. It comes your way bright and early every weekday if you're into hockey and or baseball. I also offer daily shots of Penguins and Pirates in the same place that you found this. Yeah, they really did lose. And no, that's not what I'm here to talk about today, because who wants to talk about the Baltimores? They can do that on Daily Shot of Baltimore's down there in Baltimore. I'm here to offer a one-day delayed edition of Quarterback Monday. In fact, I'm here to kind of humbly propose that we move what we had been calling Quarterback Monday through the offseason to Tuesday, because Monday is going to be committed almost always to the game that would have been played the previous day. So Quarterback Tuesday. And a lot like the Quarterback Mondays, it's going to be about Aaron Rodgers. Only unlike a lot of those, this one's going to come not because I'm wary or nervous or whatever I was for several months about Rodgers signing, but it's to defend him. And I feel that it's going to be a borderline preemptive defending of him. And here's what I mean. I don't sense that there's any great groundswell to criticize Rodgers for the way things have gone offensively these past two games. He wasn't being criticized at all, of course, after the opener. But these past two games, of course, haven't looked anything at all like the first one. Against the Seahawks, he was 18 of 33 for 203 yards, a touchdown, 2 picks. Not good. Completed just a little more than half of his passes. In beating the Patriots, the numbers look a little bit better because he was 16 of 23, but only for 139 yards. So the 69.6 completion percentage rings hollow because he wasn't throwing anything downfield. He had 2 touchdowns, including the winner, to his credit, and another interception. And of particular note, he was not sacked after having taken 7 of those in the first 2 games. So I think we can agree that it's been pretty much a mixed bag since East Rutherford. I think we also can agree that over those 3 games, there's been a steady, if not necessarily dramatic, increase on passes that make you go, huh? What was that? There were a couple against Seattle, balls that just went right into the ground, were just flagrant misfires. Against the Patriots, I mean, I don't know what he could have been thinking, much less doing, to hand that ball basically to Robert Spillane. One of the ugliest picks you're going to see anywhere in the NFL over the past couple of weeks. And there were a couple other real eggs that stood out in large part because they were among the very few occasions where anybody even tried to make anything happen downfield. Gross overthrows. I'll repeat, I don't get the sense that there's something budding. There's some feeling that the fan base is about to arise. I've seen, heard, and read little bits and pieces to that effect, but not much. So I'm not responding as much as I am asserting my own stance that I think he's been generally fine under these conditions. He's shown the arm talent. He's shown the arm strength. After overcoming a bit of a wonky back in the opener, he's looked like he's at least mobile enough to survive, as opposed to mobile enough to break off an actual run or anything to that effect. And to say this for maybe the millionth time, his intangibles have been off the charts. He continues to be everything that you'd want in a quarterback from the leadership standpoint, from everything that my own eyes and ears tell me. But, if there's one thing I'd like to see him do, I'd rather not have it wait until Sunday morning in Dublin, Ireland. I'd rather see him take these steps like today. I'd like to see him assert more of what it is that he wants with Arthur Smith, with Mike Tomlin. I know for a fact that the lines of communication are very much open there. I know for a fact that they routinely discuss the previous game at the first opportunity leading into the following week of practice. So I'm not suggesting that anything sinister has been afoot or that he'd be getting shut out or anything weird like that. What I am suggesting is that if the warden isn't doing an awesome job of running the asylum, maybe it's time for one of the lunatics to speak up. Maybe it's time for a different voice to be heard in the Steelers world than the one that's been heard the loudest for a very long time. I'll give an example here so this doesn't sound so abstract. If I'm Rodgers and I come with all that weight into every room in which I walk, and he does, not in an arrogant way, not in a cocky way, it's just he's Aaron freaking Rodgers. Everyone's aware when he passes through. And there's no way that isn't the case, whether he's meeting with Tom Arth, his quarterback's coach, Pat Meyer, the offensive line coach, or Smith or Tomlin. There's always going to be that sense that he's not just a guy. He's not just a player on your payroll. So if he's looking at a spray chart of his passes, like the one that was put together in Foxborough, where everything is either sideways, behind the line of scrimmage, just risk-free, and he's getting rid of the ball almost as quickly as he's getting it from Zach Frazier, maybe he's the one that needs to stand up and say, hey, listen, guys, have we not figured out here that we're not going to go anywhere as an offense, not with the pass, not with the run, unless I get some kind of time back here? I'm not asking for a ton. Give me 3.0. All right? Give me 3.0 seconds. Give the receivers I'm trying to target time to take more than a couple of steps. Perish the thought, but give me a chance to drop back and survey things and hit somebody deep. And then from there, look these gentlemen in the eye and say, how do you think we can go about solving that? That way, he's not necessarily the one throwing Broderick Jones or anyone else on his line under the bus. He's not the one saying Darnell Washington should be out here more often as a sixth man or even replacing Pat Freiermuth, who was not great in blocking the other day in Foxborough. He's not the one saying if we're going to run the ball or try to run the ball more often and more effectively, why has Ben Skoranek not been on the field ever since, real nice opening game in East Rutherford? Great blocker for a wide receiver. Who is it that we're supposed to be as an offense? Because this, waiting on these 5 offensive linemen to do the blocking, isn't cutting it. I'll be right downstairs if you need me. Good luck, guys. When we come back, J1Q. This segment of Daily Shot is brought to you by our good friends at Mike's Beer Bar. They're located on Federal Street, directly across from PNC Park. Mike has more than 500 beers on tap, including from more than 50 local breweries. Stop in and say hello. Tell Mike we sent you. Mike's Beer Bar. Football season's finally here. Time to check out the latest odds, futures, and win totals on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Think the Steelers are headed to the Super Bowl? Lock in your bets today. Whatever your game, FanDuel Sportsbook delivers the latest lines, futures, and specials so you can join in on all the action. Hiring can be so time-consuming, sorting through tons of resumes, trying to get in touch with every potential candidate. Well, the future of hiring looks much brighter because ZipRecruiter's latest tools and features speed up finding the right people so you save valuable time. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Over 320,000 new resumes are added to ZipRecruiter monthly. If you see a candidate you're really interested in, you can unlock that contact instantly. Use ZipRecruiter and save time hiring. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And if you go to ZipRecruiter.com/audio right now, you can try it for free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Hey guys, if you're planning to see a Steelers game, use the Game Time app to get your tickets. You can snag new ticket deals before anyone if you set it into your app alerts. The app is easy to use. No surprise fees at checkout. You can see your seat view before buying, and you're getting legit tickets delivered on time. If you're not much of a planner, you can get last-minute deals on tickets right up to the start of the event. Lowest price guaranteed, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Download the Game Time app and enter the code DK Steelers into your app profile to get $20 off your first purchase. Today's J1Q comes from T-Mac, who says, DK, what's up with these offensive schemes and this play calling? Steelers have the best tight end room in the NFL, and they don't throw to them. They don't utilize them. All the Jonnu Smith passes are either at or behind the line of scrimmage. Pat Freiermuth might get 1 ball a game. Darnell Washington's been targeted 1 time, which got us a first down via penalty, by the way. Don't even get me started on the check down to DK Metcalf and Prey. This, to me, looks like Matt Canada and post Ben Roethlisberger arm surgery. First down runs, second and third down, check downs and Prey. Is it Rodgers' arm? Does he just not have it? My answer, most unfortunately, is going to be so boring. And it should be just a single sentence. That being this, it's all about the offensive line. One thing I'd recommend, at least if you have the stomach for it, is after you watch a game live, because watching a game live, most of us, and I'm not an exception to this, will form a pretty firm opinion of something that we're seeing. I don't just mean a general one. I mean about a specific subset of football. For example, you mentioned tight end utilization. I've seen that come up a lot in conversation on the DK Pittsburgh Sports app. Naming the tight ends the way you did, pointing out their totals to date, and stressing within that how little they've been used the way you would normally think a tight end would be used, which is over the middle, which is to get those super easy cemented first downs. And what we've seen from the Steelers' offense, by and large, is exactly what you just laid out there yourself. And you see that, and it's frustrating and confusing. And I'm saying this from my own perspective here. And I'm not going to lie, I think about the same things that you brought up, including Canada and how there haven't been any quarterbacks worth anything and whether or not this is all somehow Tomlin's doing. Then I watched the game again. This time, I'm not in a stadium. I'm not surrounded by the noises and the emotions and everything that gets expressed by 70,000, 80,000 people that are around me. It's just silent film. And all that I notice the entire time is the line. Not to pick on them, not to preconceive a problem and then try to make it be the problem, but because it's so painfully obvious that it's the line. Do this yourself. Watch their blocking. Isolate on individuals. Don't just look at Broderick Jones. That would be a mistake. And for that matter, don't come within 100 yards of any pro football focus grades. I'm not saying this just because it's the in thing to trash those guys. I'm saying this because those guys watched that game on video and reached the amazing conclusion that 4 of the Steelers' 5 starting offensive linemen were among their 6th highest graded players in that game. I am not kidding. That says all kinds of damning things about whoever it is that's doing the grading, but it also exposes, yet again, the flaws in assigning performance grades. The Steelers handicapped themselves countless ways on offense in Foxborough. They threw all those stupid sideways screens because they don't trust the offensive line. They got rid of the football so quickly because they don't trust the offensive line. They limited their routes. They limited their downfield throws because they don't trust the offensive line. Jaylen Warren, who looked like he was ready to be Barry Sanders on the day, couldn't even average 3 yards per carry because of that offensive line. But those are your best players in that game. Don't do that either. Watch them all. Watch all 5. When you do, I can assure you that Pro Football Focus's number 1 best Steeler of that game, Isaac Seumalo, with a 90.7 grade, who knows what that's out of, I assume it's 100, was no such thing. And I can richly and loudly promise you that Mason McCormick, who was the 3rd highest graded player, wasn't that in reality at all. Watch them for yourself, T-Mac. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be Mike Munchak to see what you'll see. That's not me trying to go for a convenient scapegoat. That's me watching these games, realizing why nothing materializes beyond the 2.0 second mark of anything that this offense tries. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everyone listening to Daily Shot of Steelers. Don't forget, we have a double shot coming up today at 4 p.m. Eastern. By all means, don't forget to download the DK Pittsburgh Sports app today. That's not a pitch on my part as much as it's a plea. It's where we do everything related to this company. It's what keeps us going. Oh, and it's also really, really good. Like, I'm pretty positive you're going to like it. Download it. That part is free. And then email me for a discount, steep, crazy discount, to get the premium version. That's the one that knocks out all the ads. It allows you to comment. You can talk with the reporters, all kinds of good stuff. I'm at dk@dkpittsburghsports.com. Spell all of that out. See you at 4.